So this is part of my Claude series. I have made various videos now about Claude. Make sure to check out those other videos on my channel. I will also leave a link to this resource guide my team and I have put together. It goes a bit more detail into Claude COWORK than what we're going to be covering in this video. So Claude COWORK, what even is Claude COWORK? I feel like maybe some people haven't even heard of what COWORK is. So it actually lives within the app. So you have the chat functionality, you have the COWORK functionality, and then you have the code functionality. We're going to be obviously focusing on the COWORK functionality here. And what COWORK does is it's actually quite similar to the chat, and it's also similar to the code in a way as well. But I quite like what Claude Anthropic have done here, where they've sort of separated the feature out to just make it a bit clearer, a bit easier to understand, and just make it easier for the average person to use as well. I like to see it as something that works on your computer rather than just a chat. So usually when you want to extract information from a PDF or something, you would drag it into the chat box here and then try to extract it. However, COWORK works differently, where you can give it access to a folder on your computer, and that folder can contain whatever you like, and then you can do stuff within the folder. You can have Claude COWORK do stuff for you. So they actually have a few examples already here. Optimize my week, organize my screenshots, find insights in files. And what I like about these examples, because I'm glad they put them in, it demonstrates how powerful Claude COWORK can be and shows you the possibilities. Because when I click one, like optimize my week, it then gives me a whole prompt ready to go. And I think a lot of people get used to, when they do prompts, only doing like a line or two. But I have found if you want the best results, you've got to do prompts like this. Now, obviously this is quite a long prompt. It has bullet points and stuff, but you can just sort of type it out however you like. You don't need to do it in bullet points and stuff like this. And of course you can use voice as well, because if you were to use voice, you'd probably do it a lot faster than typing all of this out. Another one they have is the organize my screenshots. You can give it access to the desktop on your computer, because of course when you take a screenshot on Mac, it saves it to the desktop and you can have it organize all the screenshots. So they have here like, show me the total count, show me the date range, then focus only on screenshots from the last 14 days. For each one, identify what is shown, suggest a descriptive file name, and propose which folder. So this is quite smart, because instead of telling it what to do, you're asking it for suggestions here. Propose which folder it belongs in, or if it can be deleted, which is quite nice. Group similar screenshots together as well. After I approve, start by organizing just 10 files as a preview. If there are more than 10 files, check in with me before continuing the rest. And then let's look at the next one, find insights in files. Help me find patterns and insights across my voice memos, meeting transcripts, documents, journal entries, and specify a folder. I have messy, unstructured files and want to understand what themes are emerging. So again, a nice long prompt here to sort out whatever files that are in a folder. Another thing you can use it for is, say you've been on a business trip, you have taken pictures of all of your receipts on that trip, and then you can dump all of those pictures into a folder on your Mac. And then you can select the folder on your Mac and then have it read all the receipts and then put them into a spreadsheet for you. So this is where COWORK can be really powerful, because now instead of you having to manually type out each receipt and sort of do it, which can be very tedious of course, you can just put all the pictures in there and have it do it for you. And then what makes it even more powerful is that you can actually schedule this task. So COWORK does have a schedule functionality where you can schedule the same task every day, every week, whatever it might be. You do have to have your computer awake, but they have an option here where it will keep your computer awake to run any task. So again, this can be so powerful, because if you're doing something on a weekly basis, sorting out spreadsheets, sorting out receipts, sorting out emails, sorting out customer data, and you need it to do it on a schedule, on a recurring schedule, you can have COWORK do it for you. So let's give it a task. I have a downloads folder. So I'm going to choose a folder which just has a bunch of different files in it. It has images, it has screenshots, it has audio, video, just anything and everything. I'm going to open that folder up, allow, so I can give it access. And then I'm going to actually use a similar prompt to organize my screenshots. So I'm going to tell it, help me organize my downloads folder, scan the folder and give me a count of what types of files there are in there. And then, you know what, we'll remove all of this and then propose a plan to organize everything in there. Okay, amazing. It's now read my folder and it's saying your downloads folder is hefty, 182 gigabytes across 4,000 files, 149 subfolders. I've got a lot of stuff in my downloads folder. I kind of just dump stuff in it whenever I'm browsing stuff on the internet and I just need to have something sort of temporary. I use it as like a temporary folder on my Mac. But we can see here we have 3,600 images, which are taking up 7 gigabytes. We have 69 gigabytes worth of video files, PDF, spreadsheets, archives, installers, audio, code, docs, design files, and other random stuff as well. What I like though is that it's actually showing me how much storage this is taking up on my computer, and it's showing me how many files there actually are. Like, this is very useful information, because there's no way I'm going to ever look this up. I just can't be bothered. And then it's come up with a proposed organization plan, which I think is awesome, because I really like how it's taken the images, but it knows I have raw images as well. And raw images usually are more valuable than just the JPEGs and the PNGs and stuff, because raw images are usually pictures that I've shot on my Fujifilm camera or my Sony camera, which I most likely will want to keep. I don't maybe want to get rid of those. Videos, you can see all the different files, PDFs and stuff. And then as we scroll down, we can see quick wins for space. And we can see we have like 67 DMG files, which are just Mac app installers and stuff, which take up 14 gigabytes. And then we have zip files, 28 gigabytes, which I can just delete. I can have it delete all of those and then just organize everything else. Yes, organize everything and put anything that needs deleting, like the DMG files, in a folder and name it something I'll remember to delete. Cool. So this is my downloads folder right now, and we're going to see it happen live pretty much, hopefully. And we're going to have it organize everything in this download folder, because there's just so much stuff in here. So while this is running, the other benefit of this is that you don't have to upload the files now to a server, into the chat, right? The chat usually has a limit of the file size. So if you're uploading like a 5 gigabyte file, that's going to take a while, depending on your internet speed. With this, because the files are on your computer and Claude COWORK is working with the files on the computer, it's just much quicker. It's much more organized. It's a better way to do things. You don't have to worry about uploading these files somewhere onto the internet. Okay, great. So it's organized everything that it can. But what I like is that it's left all of the subfolders and folders that I already had in there. So things like these folders here that it's come up with. But it's organized everything else. So I can see the delete me stuff. I can see the archive stuff, audio stuff, and it's all in here now organized. And then I can see the other folders that I've made before have been left. It's not touched those. And I can delete everything in here, like the installers. I have a bunch of installers here. I can get rid of all of those now, and then duplicates as well. And I didn't have to do anything. It just did it literally within a couple of minutes. Super quick, super easy. I feel like that was one of the most basic examples. We're just organizing files on our computer, but we can take it in so many different directions. Say you have contracts, 2 different contracts, and you want to compare the contracts in a folder. You can have it do that. Say you wanted to pull information from one of your Google Drive spreadsheets or something, and then you wanted it to make a spreadsheet on your computer in a folder, you can have it do that too. Say you wanted to compare 2 spreadsheets, one that was on your computer and one that was on your Google Drive, you can have it do that too. There's just so many different things that you can do with Claude COWORK. And I feel like even for someone like me, I have nowhere near come to its limitation. Especially when I look at the schedule stuff, I don't even have anything scheduled in Claude COWORK. I think to myself, what could I do that I could schedule in Claude COWORK quite regularly and just have it do for me? I'm thinking something like I could have my emails come from my lead magnets and then automatically be uploaded to my email service or whatever that I'm using. It's just all about automating as much as I possibly can. And I think that's what a lot of people need to get into their head and understand more, that this is meant to help you do things that are usually quite tedious, that you don't really want to do, or that maybe you would usually hand off to someone else, but now it's quicker and cheaper just to hand it off to Claude COWORK to do it for you. Like, it's just crazy what you can do with this.